The hour of convening having arrived, all members of the House will come to the floor and take seats. All members, Mr. Clerk, would you ring the bell, please? All members of the House will please report to the floor. We're going to have the morning roll call here very shortly, very shortly. We have a very busy morning. All members. Mr. Clerk, I'm going to ask you to ring the bell one more time. All members report to the floor of the House. All members. Good. All right, we're going to have the call of the roll. All members present will please vote green to signify their presence in the chamber, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. Doorkeepers will please close the doors and keep them closed. Good morning, everyone. We have a very, very busy morning, and I'm going to ask you to, if you'll cooperate with me, we've got a couple of special guests, and then we've got some business to take care of too, and so we're going to be kind of going at a pretty good pace here for a bit this morning. We will begin our day with scripture reading and prayer by the chaplain, after which we will pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. Our chaplain this morning will be introduced by the gentleman from the 118th House District, Representative Spencer Fry. Representative Fry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I introduce the pastor, I want to introduce his guest, John Bolin, his son. Let's give him a welcome to the house. John, we don't fault you for taking a opportunity to go to Georgia Tech. When I was 18, I had to leave the town my dad was preaching in myself, so I think that was a good move. I actually wore my gold tie in honor of you today. Dr. Edward Bolin's been serving as the senior pastor over at Millage Avenue Baptist Church in Athens since 1997. He went to Auburn University, where he got a Bachelor of Civil Engineering. Mr. Speaker, we're 0 for 2 on our college allegiances today. His wife, Susan's an educator in Clark County, and he has a daughter, Zoe, who couldn't make it today. I first met Pastor Bolin when I was a construction manager for Habitat for Humanity. Had a different kind of costume on, wearing a cowboy hat, some boots, and some shorts. And it started out like a joke, because my boss came to me and said, "Hey, I've got a Baptist minister, an imam from a mosque, and a rabbi from a synagogue." And I'm looking at her like, well, where's the punchline? And the punchline was, after 9/11, Pastor Bolin had gotten these groups together to really try to bridge some personal relationships and community relationships. And the punchline is they built 6 Habitat houses together as a group in the Athens-Clarke County community, and really brought this community together after that egregious event. He's a Baptist preacher. He's been working on me, a good Presbyterian, to convert. I'm almost there. And we'll work on that this Easter weekend coming up. But I appreciate y'all to give your attention to a really good friend of mine, a great community leader, Dr. Edward Bolin.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a native Georgian, I was born at Martin Army Hospital in Columbus, Georgia. My father was a career enlisted man in the United States Army. I grew up in Valdosta, where we moved when I was 6 years old, my dad's hometown. After 21 years in the U.S. Army, he retired, and we moved down to Valdosta, and that's home for me. For the last 18 years, I've had the privilege of serving in Athens, Georgia, at Millage Avenue Baptist Church. I'm truly a stranger in a strange land as an Auburn graduate living amongst all of these bulldogs. My son, who my representative mentioned, is a student at North Avenue Trade School, and not particularly one to suggest Bible verses, came to me late last night and said, "Dad, I've got a Bible verse that I'd like you to share this morning from the book of Jeremiah." Typically, engineering students are not prone to quote scripture. He said, "Dad, I'd like you to read from Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 24. I read the verse, had nothing to do with the text, and I realized it had everything to do with the score of the game this past November. I say that hopefully because years from now, he's going to be taking care of me when I'm in a nursing home, so I have a higher allegiance to him than to you. I'd like to share a word of scripture with you from the prophet Micah. Micah says, "But the Lord has already made it plain how to live and what you are to do, what God is looking for in men and women. And it's quite simple. Do what is fair and just to your neighbor. Be compassionate and loyal in your love. And don't take yourself too seriously. Take God seriously." Thank you for the opportunity to share a few words with you today. I bring a word from Micah because Micah's calling there in the early part of the 8th century BC was to speak to a group of people like you, people in power, people in authority, people who were the decision makers. I'm a pastor, but I'm a husband, and my wife Susan is a 5th grade elementary school teacher in Clark County schools. Since we married 30 years ago, she's been teaching in elementary school. And I'd like to tell you about Justin. That's not his name, but he's a little boy in her 5th grade class at a small elementary school in Athens, Clark County. Justin, this past Christmas, received a new pair of Air Jordan tennis shoes. They are his pride and joy. His mother is incarcerated. Father is uncertain. He's one of 3 homeless children in the 5th grade of her elementary school. Every Friday when Justin leaves school, he takes his Air Jordans, which he keeps meticulously cleaned and polished, and very quietly and discreetly, he slides them under my wife's desk and slips on a pair of old Converse shoes. They have a signal, they have a code, Justin and Susan, because every weekend he doesn't know what's going to happen. He doesn't know where he's going to be. He doesn't know where he'll sleep. He doesn't know if there will be food on the table. And he knows that there's a high probability that his shoes will go missing in all of the transitions of this 10-year-old boy's life. The safest, most secure, reliable place for him is a 5th grade classroom. And so he parks those Air Jordans there under his teacher's desk every Friday afternoon, and on Monday morning he slips in early, takes off his old Converse shoes, and puts on his Air Jordans. Our state is full of Justins. Micah brings a word to powerful people like you who are decision makers, who are highly skilled, highly gifted, and entrusted by the people of our great state. But I bring to you, as Micah brought to those in his day, a word of those who have no voice. In my wife's 5th grade team, there are 3 classes of approximately 85 5th graders in her school. There are 3 children who are classified as homeless. 3 children in 3 classrooms. There are 5 children whose parents are incarcerated. There are 9 children who every Friday receive a bag of food. Here in Athens, we call Food to Kids. It's a community organization between our Chamber of Commerce and the Junior League. These are children who every weekend face the reality of food scarcity. They don't know if there'll be enough food in their home, and they take home discreetly a bag of food for themselves and often for their siblings. Now, this is a very prospering school, a school that in this day of No Child Left Untested is doing very well on their standardized testing. They are achieving and achieving and achieving. But my brothers and sisters, my fellow Georgians, I remind you, as you know well, there are many children in our state, there are many families in our state who struggle every day. It's a great joy to be a pastor, but it's a great joy to be married to a school teacher, someone who stands in the gap every day, pouring their life into the lives of young Georgians who one day will make decisions for us and who will be entrusted with this great state of ours. I hope that as you make decisions, you'll remember Justin and all the other nameless boys and girls and young men and young women whose lives depend on you and who have no voice here save your faith, your conscience, and your integrity. When I was 16 years old, I was invited by Governor George Busby, to be his aide for the day as the Eagle Scout of the day. I flew up on the airplane from Valdosta. One of my cousins picked me up at the Atlanta airport, and at 6 o'clock that next morning, I was dropped off at the governor's office. His chief of staff took me in a room and read me the riot act. He said, "Edward, this will be your job today. You'll be with the governor every step of the way. Here's what's expected of you. You're going to hear a lot of things. We're going to trust you with the information that you receive." I met the governor, spent the day with him as his aide, sat in on every meeting, every conversation, was treated to lunch in the cafeteria. And at the end of the day, having heard a lot of things I didn't understand but that were confidential, he looked at me and he said, "Edward, I know that I can trust you to keep in confidence what you heard today. I'm going to trust you. And so I say to you, my fellow Georgians, I'm going to trust you to look out for all Georgians. I thank you for what you do. I thank you for your public service. I thank you for your care and concern. I thank you for the opportunity to share a word. I know that you take seriously your faith and seriously the future of all Georgians. May we pray together. Holy and most high God, we come before you, grateful for your gift of life. All good things come from you, and we acknowledge that powerful truth. Be thou present, O God of wisdom, and direct the counsels of this honorable assembly. Enable them to settle things on the best and surest foundation. I pray that order, harmony, and peace may prevail, that truth and justice flourish among the people and within this body. Preserve the dignity and integrity of this house, and shower down upon these members of the house your blessings of prosperity, unity, humility, and kindness. This morning, I pray that you would bless our President Barack, our Governor Nathan, our Lieutenant Governor Casey, our Speaker David, our Senate President David, and bless these, our United States. Bless these, our fellow Georgians, and bless these, our public servants who represent all Georgians. It is in your most holy name that we pray. Amen. And would you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
By great joy.
Thank you.
I'll treasure this.
Doorkeepers will unlock the doors. Chair recognizes the chairman of the Committee on Information and Audits, Chairman Chokas.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Information and Audits has read the journals of the previous legislative day and have found them to be correct.
Chairman Chokas, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the journal? The chair hears none and the journal is confirmed. The clerk will read the resolution establishing the order of business for the day.
Mr. O'Neill of 146 moves the following be established as the order of business during the first part of the period unanimous consent. Introduction of bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of House bills and resolutions. Second reading of bills and resolutions. Reports of standing committees. Third reading and passage of uncontested local bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of Senate bills and resolutions. Morning orders.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of business for the day. The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. First reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 618 by Representative Dukes, the 154th. The bill to be entitled an act to provide for the compensation of the chairperson and members of the Seminole County Board of Education.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 619 by Representative Epps, the 144th. Bill being entitled an act to create the Cochran-Bleckley Airport Authority.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 620 by Representative Hardin, the 148th. Bill being entitled an act to provide that future elections for the office of Judge of the Probate Court of Crescent County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 621 by Representative Hardin of the 148th. Bill to be entitled an act to provide the future elections for the office of Chief Magistrate of Crescent County shall be
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 622 by Representative Waits, the 60th. Bill being entitled an act to amend Article 9 of Chapter 9 of Title 46 of the Code of Georgia annotated relating to Georgia Rail Passage
Transportation.
House Bill 623 by Representative Epps of the 144th, Randall the 142nd, Dickinson the 140th, Peak of the 141st, Beverly of the 143rd. Bill being entitled an act to amend an act known as the Macon Water Authority
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 624 by Representative Lumsden of the 12th. A bill being entitled an act to amend Chapter 37, Title 33 of the Fiscal Code of Georgia annotated relating to insurers, rehabilitation, and liquidation.
Insurance.
House Bill 625 by Representative Fry of the 118th, Quick of the 117th, Williams of the 119th. Bill being entitled an act to amend an act providing for the merger of the existing independent school system of the city of Athens.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 626 by Representative Shaw, 176. Bill being entitled an act to provide a new city charter for the city of Lakeland.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 627 by Representative Turners of the 21st Battles of the 15th, Caldwell the 20th, Ballinger the 23rd, Setzler the 35th. Bill being entitled an act to repeal an act creating the Lake Altoona Preservation Authority.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 628 by Representative Raffensperger the 50th, Wilkinson the 52nd, Jones the 47th, Geisinger the 48th, Dollar 45th, and others. Bill being entitled an act to amend an act providing a homestead exemption from Fulton County ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 629 by Representative Gardner the 57th. Bill being entitled an act to amend an act providing a new charter for the city of Atlanta.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Resolution 685 by Representative Waits the 60th, Thomas 56th, Side of the 76th, Stovall the 74th. A resolution requesting the Congress of the United States pass legislation restoring the teacups to mental health services.
Appropriations.
House Resolution 686 by Representative Kelly, the 16th Bar of the 103rd, Turner the 21st, Petrie the 166th, Rutledge the 109th, and others. Resolution encouraging the United States Congress to enact broad and permanent tax reform in 2015.
Ways and means.
House Resolution 687 by Representative Brooks, the 55th, a resolution honoring the life and memory of Dr. Beverly Hall.
Education.
Unnumbered House Bill LC 344611 by Representative Raffensperger, the 50th, to be entitled an act to provide a homestead exemption from Fulton County ad valorem taxes for county purposes.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 211 by Senator Stone, the 23rd, a bill being entitled an act to amend an act placing the county officers of McDuffie County on an annual salary.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 212 by Senator Kirk of the 13th, bill being entitled an act to provide a new charter for the city of Leslie.
Intergovernmental coordination.
That completes first readers.
Second reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 610 by Representative Wilkinson of the 52nd, a bill relating to life insurance. House Bill 611 by Representative Gardner of the 57th, a bill relating to health. HB 612 by Representative Henson of the 86th, a bill to incorporate the city of Winship in DeKalb County. HB 613 by Representative Stevenson of the 90th, a bill to provide for the incorporation of the city of Greenhaven in DeKalb County. HB 614 by Representative Stovall of the 74th, a bill to amend the Quality Basic Education Act. HB 615 by Representative Waits of the 60th, a bill relating to water suppliers' cutoff of water to premises because of indebtedness of prior owner, occupant, or lessee, prohibited records required, limited liens for unpaid charges for water, gas, sewage service, or electricity. House Bill 616 by Representative Waits of the 60th, a bill relating to dispossessory proceedings. HB 617 by Representative Carson of the 46th, a bill to amend an act creating the State Court of Cobb County. House Resolution 5 by Representative Waits of the 60th, Resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution so as to authorize the General Assembly to provide by general law for casino poker gambling within each county and municipal corporation which has established an entertainment district where such activities have been approved by referendum. House Resolution 650 by Representative Gasaway of the 28th, the resolution honoring the life of Mr. Richard John Chambers Sr., dedicating a bridge in his memory. House Resolution 651 by Representative Frazier of the 126th, resolution recognizing Mr. Samuel L. Cummings, dedicating a road in his honor. House Resolution 652 by Representative Waits of the 60th, a resolution commending Millie Jackson and for her accomplishments as an entertainer. House Resolution 653 by Representative Jackson of the 128th, a resolution recognizing Mr. Jimmy B. Lord, dedicating a road in his honor. House Resolution 654 by Representative Kelly of the 16th, resolution encouraging the United States Congress to repeal a tax on health insurance. House Resolution 688 by Representative Anderson of the 92nd, resolution recognizing United States disabled veterans, dedicating a highway in their honor. Senate Bill 36 by Senator Ligon Jr. of the 3rd, a bill relating to wells and drinking water. Senate Bill 63 by Senator Hill of the 6th, a bill relating to alcoholic beverages. Senate Bill 82 by Senator Wilkinson of the 50th, a bill relating to fees and alternative ad valorem taxation for apportionable vehicles. Senate Bill 109 by Senator Orrick of the 36th, a bill relating to general provisions relative to health. Senate Bill 122 by Senator Mullis of the 53rd, a bill relating to the procedure for implementing a special purpose local option sales tax. Senate Bill 126 by Senator Huffstetler of the 52nd, a bill relating to pharmacists and pharmacies. Senate Bill 127 by Senator Jeffers of the 17th, a bill relating to ethics in government. Senate Bill 130 by Senator Thompson of the 14th, a bill relating to general provisions relative to the uniform rules of the road. Senate Bill 138 by Senator Miller of the 49th, a bill relating to social service. Senate Bill 141 by Senator Jones of the 10th, a bill relating to definitions for juvenile proceedings under the Juvenile Code. Senate Bill 143 by Senator Huffstetler of the 52nd, a bill relating to insurance. Senate Bill 145 by Senator McCune of the 29th, a bill relating to the Board of Community Health. Senate Bill 154 by Senator Stone of the 23rd, bill relating to wiretapping, eavesdropping, surveillance, and related offenses and grounds for issuance of search warrant and scope of search warrant pursuant to such a warrant. Senate Bill 160 by Senator Williams of the 27th, bill relating to prohibited acts regarding alcoholic beverages. Senate Bill 169 by Senator Gooch of the 51st, bill relating to highways, bridges, and ferries. Senate Bill 176 by Senator James of the 35th, a bill relating to miscellaneous provisions regarding elementary and secondary education. Senate Bill 185 by Senator Tippins of the 37th, a bill relating to health. Senate Bill 190 by Senator Miller of the 49th, a bill relating to bona fide coin-operated amusement machines. Senate Bill 191 by Senator Tippins of the 37th, a bill relating to blasting or excavating near utility facilities. Senate Bill 194 by Senator Jeffers of the 17th, a bill relating to general provisions regarding pharmacists and pharmacies. Senate Bill 203 by Senator Hill of the 6th, a bill relating to the Secretary of State. Senate Resolution 26 by Senator Ligon Jr. of the 3rd, resolution creating the Joint House and Senate Coastal Greenway Study Committee. Senate Resolution 114 by Senator Hill of the 32nd, resolution creating the Joint Entrepreneur and Resident Study Committee. Senate Resolution 126 by Senator Gooch of the 51st, resolution honoring the life of Mr. Bill T. Hardman and dedicating a road in his memory. Senate Resolution 282 by Senator Albers of the 56th, resolution creating the Joint Peace Officer and Firefighter Occupational Disease Study Committee. Senate Resolution 441 by Senator James of the 35th, a resolution honoring Miss Gladys Maria Knight and dedicating a road in her honor. Through second readers.
Reports of standing committees, the clerk will read.
Representative Jan Tankersley, the 160th District Chairman of the Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination Locals, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination Locals had under consideration the following bills of the House. As instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 589 do pass by substitute. House Bill 594 do pass. House Bill 597 do pass. House Bill 598 do pass. House Bill 599 do pass. House Bill 600 do pass. House Bill 601 do pass. House Bill 602 do pass. House Bill 603 do pass. Representative Golick of the 40th District, Chairman of the Committee on Judiciary Non-Civil, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Judiciary Non-Civil has had under its consideration the following bills of the Senate and has instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations. Senate Bill 79 do pass. Senate Bill 72 do pass by substitute. Senate Bill 94 do pass by substitute. Representative Smith, the 70th District Chairman of the Committee on Natural Resources and Environment, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Natural Resources and Environment has had under its consideration the following bills and resolutions of the House and Senate. It's instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Resolution 601 do pass. House Resolution 613 do pass. House Resolution 620 do pass. Senate Bill 119 do pass.
We'll have third reading and passage of uncontested local
Bell, you can
bills.
use the phone.
If there is no objection, we will vote on the local calendar as a whole with a recorded vote. Hearing none, it is so ordered. The clerk will read the local calendar.
House Bill 589 by substitute by Representative Evans, the 42nd, Cobb County. House Bill 594 by Representative Kidder, the 145th, Baldwin County. House Bill 597 by Representative Holcomb of the 81st, DeKalb County. House Bill 598 by Representative Holcomb of the 81st, DeKalb County. House Bill 599 by Representative Holcomb of the 81st, DeKalb County. House Bill 600 by Representative Earhart of 36, Cobb County. House Bill 601 by Representative Hightower of the 68th, Carroll County. House Bill 602 by Representative Willard of the 51st, Fulton County. House Bill 603 by Representative Willard of the 51st, Fulton County.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered on the local calendar? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee which was favorable to the passage of the bills? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall these bills now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bills will vote yes. All opposed will vote no. And the clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of the bill, the yeas were 156, the nays were 0. These bills, having received the requisite constitutional majority, are therefore passed. Chair recognizes Chairman Atwood to introduce the Doctor of the Day.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to you Dr. David J. Falk. He was born in Savannah. He is board-certified psychiatrist from my district down in Brunswick. He received his Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry from Armstrong State College in Savannah and earned his medical degree from Mercer University School of Medicine. He completed his internship and residency from the William S. Hall Psychiatric Institute in Columbia, South Carolina. And Dr. Falk is a member of multiple professional associations, including the Medical Association of Georgia and the American Psychiatric Association. Dr. Falk and his wife, Dawn, are the proud parents of 2 children, Catherine and Mary. And please join me in welcoming to the People's House Dr. David J. Falk as our Doctor of the Day. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. I owe you thanks, and I'm honored to have this opportunity to serve you as you work to serve the citizens of this sovereign state of Georgia. I'm honored to be here. I am a psychiatrist, but as a psychiatrist, I also have the capacity for primary care, so I'll be available for any of your specific medical needs. Many of you, I'm sure, have been to see physicians in the past, but may not have seen a psychiatrist. Please feel free to resource me if you have any specific questions about mental illness, and I'm available if Atlanta traffic gets too bad. So thank you again.
Members that have morning orders, if you'll please make your way down to the front. The chair recognizes Representative Pat Gardner for a morning order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to remember a truly remarkable man. I first met John Perdue and his wife Pat when I was visiting the Westview Neighborhood Association. What impressed me so much about Mr. Perdue and his wife was they had seemed to have dedicated their lives to helping those in their community that needed it the most. Afterwards, I learned a lot more about Mr. John Perdue. He has, in fact, written a book about his experiences in Georgia. He left Georgia in the 60s to come to Georgia and work in the civil rights movement. Spent much of his time in Albany, Georgia, fighting for integration. In fact, he even spent some time in the Albany jail. He returned to Atlanta to continue his work and to help others. His family and friends are in the balcony today. Will you join me as we recognize the family and friends of Mr. John Perdue? Please stand up. Thank you very much. The family will be in room 133 if you would like to greet them. Come on down.
Chair recognizes Representative Kidd for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was some reservation I come down here this morning because I've been in this house for 6 years now, and rarely but once have I been here to talk about something really personal. But I've graduated from college with a BS degree in finance, but my education really didn't start till 1972 when I came down here as a lobbyist, long before some of you were born, and only one or two of you in the legislature shortly thereafter. So I've been in these halls for 43 years. My good friend, the dean, been here 41, but I go back to when my friend Harry Geisinger was in his first term of office before he had his first retirement and decided to come back. But what I want to mention this morning to you is definition of retribution. Webster's definition of retribution is payback for something someone didn't like. I built my career down here since 1972 on trust. I think I became a successful lobbyist because everyone began to know me and trust in me and trust that what they said to me stayed with me and trust what I said to them as being fact. As a new legislator 6 years ago, the majority of members really didn't know who I was. And so I kept kind of quiet, trying to build up a relationship with them and build a trust factor with many of you, which is there today. But retribution comes in different formats. Very briefly, in Milledgeville, Georgia, this past year, our city council had a meeting that was unannounced and so forth. And a member of the city council punched the record button on his cell phone and recorded this illegal meeting and the fact that some members of city council, quote unquote, wanted retribution against an individual who had written a letter to the newspaper. And that retribution resulted in the transfer of millions of dollars from one bank into another bank. That retribution took place in such a fashion that an ethics complaint was filed against the members of the city council. The laws of the city council said that, the members themselves were the ethics committee. That wouldn't work. So they hired a special master judge. That special master judge ruled against the city council and the city manager. The Attorney General's office is investigating right now the action of our city council with retribution. I say this because, and I can't go around to every member and every chairman, but I want you all to be aware, everyone to be aware, that if you're in a meeting and you see somebody look down at their cell phone, they might not be looking at a message. They might be making sure they record what's being said. Several young members have come to me and several older members come to me, knowing I've been here a long time, knowing that I know where a lot of skeletons are. Probably put some of them there over the years, to be honest with you, right, Larry? And so forth. And they come to me and talk to me about what they should do. And they played me some of these recordings from Democratic caucus meetings, Republican caucus meetings, meetings in private offices, etc. Everyone that knows me knows those recordings stay inside my head. They won't, what's said won't go out anywhere. That's the trust factor I'm talking about. I love this body, I love this people, I love this institution. There's a brief article in the AJC last week about retribution. And I'm sure you'll read more about it in the weeks to come, in the last 9 days. For those of you who haven't been on the fourth floor, go on the fourth floor. And you'll see a voting record blown up this size outside of a senator's office with yellow marks on who voted against a certain piece of legislation. I'm sure that wasn't for retribution's sake. It was probably just for information's sake, to let the people know who voted one way or the other. All of us are elected by all the people in our counties. We're not here elected to represent Republicans, Democrats, Tea Party, religious rights, etc. We're all elected by everybody. We all put our pants on one leg at a time. I put mine on a little differently probably than most of y'all, but I still put them on one leg at a time. And I urge you in these last 9 days, when you look in the mirror every morning, have respect for the person who's looking back at you. Come into this body, stand tall, do the right thing. And if you do the right thing, and everyone does the right thing, we will all be winners. Your district will be a winner, and the state of Georgia will be a better place for all of us. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Jones for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, I rise today to present to you one of several awards that I will present during morning orders over the next few days for members coming from House District 62 for the Aaron Blunt Memorial Award. This award is in honor of a Fulton County police officer who lost his life in the line of duty several years ago. Today's awardee is Officer Joseph Latosky from the Atlanta Police Department, a 4-year member of the department who risked his own life to save a person from a burning vehicle. Officer Latosky responded to a hit and run and found the suspect's vehicle stopped at the end of the parking lot. The driver had crashed into a tree in a chain link fence, and it was smoldering with flames. Officer Latosky believed the driver was still inside, and so without hesitation, he opened the car doors to save the driver. The driver had on his seatbelt, and Officer Latosky risked his own life to enter in the car and pulled him out. Without his actions, Officer Latosky's actions, the driver would not be with us here today. I chose to honor Officer Latosky, who will be here with a number of other officers from District 62 on next week. In light of the fact of what we hear in the media day after day about excessive force by law enforcement officers. As a former prosecutor, I know that overwhelmingly there are more good guys in our law enforcement department. However, this body has the responsibility of ensuring that our laws are still such that people feel protected by their law enforcement officers. And so to ensure that we are fulfilling our duty, I wanted to take a moment to honor some of the good guys, because I believe that in honoring the good guys, we highlight the need to make sure that all of our citizens are protected. So in honor of Officer Aaron Blunt, in honor of the citizens who rely on us, I award the District 62 Aaron Blunt Award to Officer Joseph Latosky. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Coleman for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members of the House, it's my pleasure to come here once again. You have on your desks some books. You know, this is book time. Everybody gets really excited about these, but up in the gallery today, we're happy to have with us some people to help us launch the 5th annual Georgia Pre-K that's going to be October the 5th to the 9th. This is the celebration of early learning. It's sponsored by the Voices of Georgia Children and is supported by Bright from the Start, Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning. Over 80,000 children benefit from this pre-K, and they benefit from this. And what we do in October, all of you are going to be asked to come to your schools and read one of these books. And you know there's a Pete the Cat in here this time, and everybody loves Pete the Cat. There's one of those, and there's also the doorbell ringing. I want you to take them and look. But look up in the gallery, and let's stand up and give them. And we have with us today, we're really happy to have Mr. Mouse from the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. Let's hear it for these people who help us out up there. They'll be coming down in just a few minutes, and they will be taking pictures with you. Take your books out, use these books on your Facebook, and be sure, we've gotten up to 80%, but let's get 100% of the House reading this time for Pre-K Week. Let's hear it once again for our Pre-K children. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Taylor for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Have some special guests with us in the balcony today. We've got the Dunwoody Chamber of Commerce. I just want to tell you a couple of things about these folks. A great group of business people from Dunwoody that have worked over the past couple of years with the Economic Development Department, the City of Dunwoody, and have attracted State Farm to move an entire business center there. They are now constructing a 2 million square foot office building that in the next couple of years will provide 8,000 jobs in my district. I wish these guys would rise and be recognized. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Dudgeon for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today is Junior League of Georgia Public Affairs Day at the Capitol. There's about 70 ladies from around Georgia who do great public service work, and they're going to be giving lunch to legislators in room 125 between noon and 1:30. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Ballinger for a morning order. And Representatives Caldwell, Stover, Cantrell, and Carson.
Stover, I guess you're an honorary member of the Cherokee County delegation. Feel free to join us. We welcome today to the Georgia House the Cherokee County Chamber of Commerce. Unfortunately, they're running a little bit behind, so timing hasn't really worked out for them. But we welcome them today to the House, and we're just very proud that they're here. If you could just give them a ceremonial welcome, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
The House has a very special guest today. If the chair can have your attention, the chair recognizes Representative Stovall for a special invite resolution. Clerk will read the caption.
House Resolution 643 by Representative Stovall, the 74th. Strickland, the 111th, Scott of the 76th, Jones, the 53rd, Maber of the 63rd, and others. A resolution commending Chris Ludacris Bridges, founder of the Ludacris Foundation, and inviting him to be recognized by the House of Representatives and for other purposes.
Representative Stovall.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, fellow members, guests, and Ludacris. I don't know who was more excited about you coming to the Capitol this morning than Representative Amy Carter, Representative Brian Strickland's wife, Lindsay, or myself. Before I introduce to some and present to others, Mr. Ludacris Bridges, also known as Luda, I want to take a moment to acknowledge those special people joining him this morning. His lovely mother, Miss Roberta Shields, who I have no doubt is a praying woman. Next to him is his beautiful wife, Mrs. Eudoxie Bridges. And he's also joined with a few other his key individuals, Miss Donna Permel, his photographer, and I think that might be it. And also, please join me in welcoming them, which you all have already done. I want to also thank my sister, Sharon Daniel, who was instrumental in making this day a reality, along with the Go Stovall team. And I also want to take this time to recognize the education leaders that are here today on this special day. Will you all help me to welcome them? All right, Ludacris is a Georgia resident, a graduate of Banneker High School in College Park, and studied at Georgia State University. He began his music career and was known as DJ Chris Lover Lover. Ludacris, a hip-hop culture icon, is a lot more than what meets the eye. On the surface, the mega mogul is a multi-platinum selling artist, actor, and rapper. He has been a featured guest on many top 10 hits. Some of my favorite songs are Move, Get Out the Way, Get Back, You Don't Know Me Like That, and Runaway Love, to just to name a few. But behind the scenes, he is a successful record label executive, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. Ludacris and I both share a heart for serving the youth. He puts his money where his mouth is, because for 14 years, the Ludacris Foundation has donated more than $1.5 million to youth organizations and programs, and has invested more than 5,000 hours in hands-on service to young people across the United States. That deserves a round of applause.
Thank you.
His programs in leadership and education, living healthy lifestyles, and Luda Cares impact more than 10,000 lives annually. Ludacris recently visited Utopian Academy for the Arts Charter School in Clayton County, where I represent, twice to inspire and uplift them. As a versatile visionary genius, Ludacris and the Ludacris Foundation are to be commended. 2015 is turning out to be monumental for Ludacris. First, he and his wife are expecting a child, and congratulations. Secondly, his new movie, Fast and Furious 7, will be in theaters on April the 3rd. Box office pundits with early access to tracking figures say Furious 7 could have an opening between $110 to $115 million, making it the most successful franchise installment yet. Overall, it's expected to reach $1 billion in movie ticket sales. My family has seen every Fast and Furious movie at least twice and will continue that tradition this year. Lastly, to top it off, his 8th album, titled Ludaversal, comes out on March the 31st. It's being called his most personal body of work to date. Today, we are making history at the Capitol. It's not unusual for me to be among history makers. Ludacris is the first Grammy Award-winning, multi-platinum selling artist, actor, rapper, entrepreneur, and philanthropist, all in one, to be recognized. Ludacris, if you ever are in need of a legislator in one of your videos or movies, call Rep. Stovall. I'm sure some of my colleagues will join me as well. I would like to present you with this t-shirt that was designed by Dangerous Printing as a remembrance of this day, March the 19th, 2015. And it says, Luda, still disturbing the peace. On the back, it has Georgia Capitol, March 19, 2015. And on the sleeves, it has Ludacris Foundation. Colleagues, help me in welcoming Chris Ludacris Bridges to the Georgia State Capitol.
Hold on a second. Yeah. I'm sorry, I've always wanted to do that, so thank you for allowing me to do that, Mr. Jones. How's everybody doing? This is a great honor, and I'm very humbled by it, and I definitely want to thank you, Representative Stovall, for that amazing, amazing intro that you just gave. And thank you, the Georgia House of Representatives, for honoring me and my foundation, the Ludacris Foundation, and my mother is the president of that foundation, so we can give her one more round of applause in here. It feels great to speak to this special group of leaders that we have here today, policymakers, change agents. You all have a special responsibility to provide a voice for the voiceless and to help guide all of the residents of Georgia to a better tomorrow. You are a reflection of every part of Georgia, and you bring light to the issues that we face, both small and large. You help us to better see ourselves, our communities, and our country. I truly respect the role that you play, and I don't think you guys hear it enough, so it's important for me to reinforce that and let you guys know how much you mean, not only to myself by doing what you do, but to those who can't be here in front of this microphone and tell you personally. So give yourselves a round of applause. Now, I'm sure that some of you are asking, why would Ludacris be invited to speak here today? And why would they honor me? To some, I'm just an entertainer. I make my living by, stringing together verses or playing a part in some movie or television show. And I'm certain that some of you are asking, what would Ludacris have to say? What would I have to say about leadership? But in fact, when I speak of leadership, I'm talking about leadership that is apolitical. Leadership that is very basic and starts with self. There's a cry for it. In fact, that is what we are seeing every day as people march and as they clamor for understanding, especially of all the events that have been going on. America and Georgia have a great promise, but it's a promise that is not yet completely fulfilled, in my opinion. Not everyone gets an equal chance at it. Some never get a chance at all. Not everyone believes that tomorrow can be better than today, or that the promise is even meant for them. Our communities, they definitely need fixing. Some of our systems are badly broken, and we can't wait on government institutions, social programs, and policies alone to fix our communities. We have to look inward, and that's what I mean when I say leading by example. And that's the type of leadership that I continue to do and what I've been doing for over a decade now with the Ludacris Foundation. So to let you know a little bit more about the foundation, it was formally established in December, of course, of 2001 to sustain my commitment to make a difference in the lives of youth, families, and communities throughout the United States, not just here in Atlanta, Georgia, but with a major focus on my home state, as I continue to say. And my foundation, it inspires youth through education and memorable experiences to live their dreams. thereby uplifting families, communities, and fostering economic development. So we have 3 key programs that focus on specific areas. I call them the 3 L's. There's the leadership and education, there's Luda Cares, and there's living healthy lifestyles. First and foremost, the leadership and education, preparing you to be successful with an emphasis on why education matters in making lifelong decisions. Luda Cares, which is ensuring that communities and its residents know that we care about them and that they need to care about each other. And then Living Healthy Lifestyles is geared towards youth to learn about healthy eating to address issues like nutritional health and childhood obesity. Provide preventative health services and education in underserved youth. We help young people achieve their dreams through the encouragement of the principles of success. We aim to show young people in America they are the builders of their future. And since 2001, the Ludacris Foundation has donated well over $2 million to support organizations that work to help families and communities. Our programs and support initiatives have directly impacted thousands upon thousands of lives. And what I'm more proud of is the fact that we have over 10,000 hours invested in hands-on service. So it's not just about cutting a check. I go there personally to ensure that people see my face and know that I care. I take the responsibility of leadership and giving back very seriously, as you can tell. I have a deep-rooted tradition of service that has only broadened with my celebrity status as my popularity has grown over the years. And I'm sure it will grow a lot more after being here in front of you guys today. So as I have more and I continue to get more, I'm making a vow and letting everybody know I will definitely continue to do more. I mention these things not to brag or pat myself on the back, but to underscore the responsibility that I feel we all have to turn back, reach back, and give back to our communities. This period in our history should be a time of reflection for all of us to appreciate what we have and what we have to give to those in need of our help. And in closing, I just want to say our challenge, the task is not so much to see what no one yet has seen, but to think what no one yet has thought, about which everybody sees. We have to have a paradigm shift regarding issues and possible solutions. And we need every able body to pitch in and do what they can. So thank you again for this honor and recognition. I appreciate you all. Love from my family to yours. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Hugs.
Chair recognizes Representative Chandler for a morning order.
That's a hard act to follow. But we do have a group with us today in the balcony who are servants, and they've served through the years in many different capacities. We have a group of seniors from Grayson First Baptist Church. Their pastor is with them, and I'd like for you to stand and let's welcome you to the house.
The House will be at ease for a few moments.
I know we have a lot going on, but we have another guest, and both of our guests today are on tight schedules. So all members of the House will please take their seats. All members. And I'm sorry to do this to you, but even those of you against the wall will please take your seats. This House will come to order. House will come to order. I first of all want to recognize, as we do, former House members when they come back to visit with us, and I think this is his first time back. I hope you will help me give a warm welcome back to former State Representative Edward Lindsey. Former Representative Lindsey said, "I thought of y'all last Friday night at midnight." I said, "We weren't here. We were gone by 8 p.m. He didn't believe me. We are very honored today to have with us a very special guest and an individual who really needs no introduction. He is a member of a family that represents, in my view, the highest ideals of public service in this country that have given much to this country. He served as governor of Florida for 8 years, where he was a champion of education reform, deeply committed to making sure that the young people in Florida had the finest in educational opportunities. He's continued that good work, and he's visiting here in Georgia today, and wanted to come by and visit, and we are honored. I hope you will help me welcome to the Georgia House of Representatives the former governor of Florida, Jeb Bush.
Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you all very much. Your speaker has the best speaker voice I think I've ever heard as I've traveled around the country. If there's going to be a House of Cards state edition,
My next job.
except the good. All the guy. I'm not thinking bad things here. I'm thinking guy who can make things happen. It is a joy to be here. Thank you for that kind introduction. I'll be very brief. I came to see Ludacris. I've already done that, so I appreciate the fact that there's a successful guy who's giving back, and you all giving him this honor is quite appropriate. I hope that you stay the course on assuring that, particularly all the things you do, building a great business climate, thinking about the big issues, prioritizing the budget, all those things are important. But I know for a fact that state governments are where people have a chance to change the course of a life of a child. And think about it, 1/3 of our kids are college or career ready in this country. We spend a lot of money. In fact, we spend more per student than any country in the world other than Luxembourg and a couple other smaller countries. And yet our results are that about 1/3 of our kids, after we go through this journey, when you assess accurately, are college or career ready. That's why there's 60% remediation rate when you enter a community college from high school. That's why public universities offer high school math and high school reading again. That's why we have a skills gap in this country where people have a hard time getting jobs that could give them a chance to move up the economic ladder because our system hasn't worked. And it's not because people in the system are bad, it's that we haven't had the courage to move to a child-centered system. If we stand pat with what we have, here's the deal. A child that's going to be born in your public hospital, Grady Hospital here in Atlanta, may never get a job. Or if you have the courage to continue down the path of reform, we'll have, and every state does this, we'll have everybody born in this country will have a chance to achieve earned success. I can't think of anything more important than focusing on that key issue, and I appreciate the fact that the Georgia House of Representatives deals with this issue each and every day, and I hope that you continue to stay the course to make rising student achievement for every child your highest priority. And it is a joy to be here. I hope that you're big and bold, that you fill the space with provocative ideas and encourage the executive to execute on those ideas to assure that children learn. God bless you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, man.
To members of the House, Governor Bush has indicated that he's happy to stay for a few minutes in the anteroom to do photographs, those of you that may want to greet him over there. We're going to get back to business here. All right, the House will come to order, and we have another very important and very special group that we want to honor. Clerk will read the caption to House Resolution 216.
House Resolution 216 by Representative Ramsey, the 72nd, O'Neill, the 146th, Abrams, the 89th, Jones, the 47th, Hatchett, the 150th, and others. A resolution commending Will Crane, Michael Crofton, Julie Doss, Brooke Hasford, John Kirkland, Shannon Laffey, and Jennifer Maddox for being chosen to participate in the 2015 Special Olympics World Summer Games, and inviting them to be recognized by the House of Representatives and for other purposes.
If I could ask the House to come to order, we've had a lot of excitement and some special people here today. These are the most special. Thank you for that. Representative Ramsey and I agreed that Ludacris and Governor Bush have done a good job warming y'all up for this next group, so I'm honored to introduce to speak to this invite resolution the Majority Caucus Whip, Representative Matt Ramsey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've done a couple of these in my 7 years, and I don't think I've ever been more excited and more humbled and honored to present a group to the Georgia House than I am this group here today. We've had a couple of opportunities this year to honor formerly world-class athletes like Dominique Wilkins and John Smoltz and others. Today, we get to honor some current world-class athletes. This summer, the United States of America will participate in the World Summer Special Olympics in Los Angeles. 7 Georgians have made that team. They've put in the time and the effort and the sweat and the tears to rise to the top of their event and are going to be representing the state of Georgia on the United States national team this summer. Before I introduce the athletes to you, though, I want to introduce to you and have them stand and let us recognize the folks that really support them, the parents and the coaches and the family and the friends. If y'all could rise right up there and have the House of Representatives honor you. I'm going to introduce the 7 athletes and their events and where they're from. Hold your applause, and we'll give them a big round of applause at the end. Y'all just wave when I say your name. First, we have Will Crane from Gainesville, who's going to be competing in kayaking. We have Julie Doss from Lake Park, who's going to be competing in gymnastics. We have Brooke Hasford from Cumming, who's going to be competing in aquatics. Shannon Laffey from Kennesaw is going to be competing in gymnastics. Jennifer Maddox from Stockbridge is going to be competing in equestrian. Michael Crofton from Peachtree City is going to be competing in sailing. And John Kirkland from Byron's also going to be competing in sailing. Let's give these guys a round of applause. I'm going to present to you for a quick word Will Crane. Like I said, Will is from Gainesville, Representative Donahue's area. He's competing in kayaking, and he's going to say a quick word of thanks to you guys.
I would like to thank you for interesting us to be here today. We are all very excited to represent our state and county in the World Games. I have been in the Special Olympics for 11 years. I have gave me the opportunity to compete bocce, basketball, soccer, and kayaking. I I am very proud and excited to represent my county in kayaking at the World Games this summer in LA. I love Special Olympics because I can make new friends and wished every person with a disability could be a part of Special Olympics. Thank you again for having us today.
House will continue to be in order. We have one more morning order. Chair recognizes for a morning order Representative Bubber Epps. Representative Epps.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was going to ask some, Nikki, you're here. Some of our BIB delegation members come down. I think they're in the photo line. But, you know, we have with us today two groups that I want you to help me recognize from the Macon-Bibb County area. With us is Dr. Grant and his political science class from Mercer University. If they will stand up. And we also have the advanced government class from Tatnall Square Academy, if they will stand up. Mrs. Boyd is their director, and I have a granddaughter in that class, Mr. Speaker, so thank you. But thank you for allowing us the opportunity to recognize these students, sir. Thank you all.
Good job.
Okay. We are about to go on to the rules calendar. We're about to go to the rules calendar. Clerk will read the caption to House Resolution 302.
House Resolution 302 by Representative Parrish, the 158th, urging Congress of the United States to enact significant reforms to the nation's federally financed graduate medical education programs. This bill has been referred to the Committee on Health and Human Services. That committee recommends that this resolution be adopted.
Chair recognizes Chairman Butch Parrish to present the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, last session we passed House Resolution 1722, which established a study committee to look at the graduate medical education in our state. The Speaker allowed me to serve as chair of this study committee over the summer, and we met around the state. We met at the hospitals, we went to the medical schools, and we visited with medical students. One thing became very clear to us from our time there, that we have a problem in this state. We have a shortage of residency slots. Georgia, as you know, is a growth state. We're now 10 million plus in this state. Our medical schools have done a good job of expanding and graduating more doctors, but we've not kept pace with our residency programs. And after we train these doctors and they graduate from medical school, we actually don't have enough medical slots in the state to take care of the number that we're graduating. Now, the governor recognized this problem and began his program to create 400 additional residency slots, and this House has enhanced his efforts, and that's well underway. A high percentage of the doctors who will choose to locate their practice near where they do their residency training. Now, House Resolution 302 that we're talking about today is urging Congress and the Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services, CMS, to look at the reallocation of the federally funded residency slots across the country. I believe that a fast-growing state like Georgia has not received our fair share of these slots. The resolution is asking the feds to take another look at these slots and how they're allocated so that we can produce and train the number of doctors that we need to treat our growing population. Georgia now ranks 39th in positions per capita, and this is projected to get worse, and if we don't do something by the year 2020, we could be number 50 out of 50. Many of you co-sponsored this resolution with me, and I thank you for that. The regents and the Senate have passed similar resolutions to this, and now I'm going to ask you to vote yes on House Resolution 302. If there are any questions, Mr. Speaker, I'll take them, and if not, I'll yield the way and ask for your favorable consideration.
You do not appear to have any questions. The gentleman has yielded the well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the adoption of the resolution? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this resolution now be adopted? All those in favor of the adoption of the resolution will vote aye. All those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the adoption of House Resolution 302. The ayes are 157, the nays are 2. This resolution, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore adopted. Clerk will read the caption to House Resolution 474.
House Resolution 474 by Representative Abrams, the 89th, creating the House Study Committee on Grandparents Raising Grandchildren and Kinship Care. This bill I refer to the Committee on Human Relations and Aging. That committee recommends that this resolution be adopted.
Chair recognizes the Minority Leader of the House, Leader Abrams, to present the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On your desks this morning, you will find a one-page map that shows the density of grandparents raising grandchildren in the state of Georgia. At last count in 2013, it was more than 100,000 grandparents who either had temporary or permanent custody of their grandchildren. And if you pay close attention to the map, you will notice that this isn't an urban problem, it isn't a rural problem, it is a Georgia problem. What this map doesn't reflect are the tens of thousands of other family members who also have custody of their grandchildren or of their progeny. It's estimated in Georgia that nearly 200,000 family members are raising children that were not their birth children, but are in desperate need of support. The challenge we have in Georgia is that we have several organizations and several agencies that have some responsibility, but there is not the necessary communication among those groups to provide the services that these grandparents need. Since I introduced this resolution, I've had a number of you come to me and mention that you have either personally experienced this phenomenon or you know of folks in your community. And what we need to do in Georgia is recognize that as we grow faster, the need to align these services and to recognize the support that has to get to these children must move as quickly and as effectively as possible. And so I come today to ask your support of H.R. 474. There is an amendment that is on your desks as well. There were some technical amendments that needed to be made to the underlying resolution, and I would ask that you give both favorable consideration to the amendment and to the underlying resolution. Mr. Speaker, if there are no questions, I'm happy to yield the well.
You have no questions?
Thank you.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there objection to the Abrams amendment? Is there objection? Chair hears none. The amendment is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the adoption of the resolution? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this resolution now be adopted? All those in favor of the adoption of the resolution will vote aye. All those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the adoption of House Resolution 474. The ayes are 164, the nays are 0. This resolution, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore adopted. House Bill 16 will be recommitted by the chair to the Committee on Rules. It had been postponed from a previous legislative day. The clerk will read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions.
The following two resolutions to be read and referred to the Committee on Rules. Recognizing and honoring January 13, 2016 as Korean American Day at the State Capitol, and inviting the Korean American dignitaries to be recognized by the House. Congratulating the McEachern High School Lady Indians basketball team for their excellent performance at the Class 6A State Championship game and inviting them to be recognized by the House. The following two resolutions were reported favorably out of rules. Commending the North Cobb High School Lady Warrior volleyball team for winning the 2014 Class 6A GHSA State Championship and inviting them to be recognized by the House. Honoring Thomas Henry Nobis Jr., the first player drafted during the inaugural season for the Atlanta Falcons in 1966, and inviting him to be recognized by the House. Recognizing April 13, 2015 as Vietnamese Remembrance Day. Recognizing and commending the contributions of the Georgia Haitian Americans and recognizing March 13, 2015 as Georgia Haitian American Legislative Day at State Capitol. Recognizing and commending Kaiser Permanente on the occasion of its 30th anniversary in Georgia. Commending Clementine Livingston Jones for outstanding public service to her community. Recognizing and commending the Irwin County Senior 4-H Poultry Judging Team. Recognizing and commending the Irwin County Women's Tennis Team on winning the Class A State Championship. Commending Mayor Adolph McClendon for his many years of dedicated service to the city of Richland and Stewart County, Georgia. Recognizing and commending Christian City on the occasion of its 50th anniversary. Commending the North Cobb High School Lady Warrior Volleyball Team for winning the 2014 Class 6A GHSA State Championship. Congratulating Mrs. Bertie Mae Conley Teal on the grand occasion of her 100th birthday. Celebrating the birth of Jackson Coker Bagwell. Commending Jasper Jake Webb and Bill Paget. Honoring the life and memory of Reverend Marie Lomax Douglas. Commending Tony T. Yarborough upon the wonderful occasion of his promotion. Senate Resolution 499, commending the annual FNB South Community Golf Classic Tournament, and for other purposes. That completes the reading of the privileged resolutions.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the privileged resolutions? The chair hears none. The resolutions are adopted. What purpose does Chairman Willard rise?
Mr. Speaker, I rise for the purpose of making a motion.
State your motion.
I move to have Senate Bill 138 reassigned from committees. It's currently in the local governmental affairs committee to the House Judiciary Committee. Both chairmen have been agreeable to the change.
Clerk will read the caption.
Senate Bill 138 by Senator Miller of the 49th, Dugan of the 30th, Hill of the 32nd, Kennedy of the 18th, Jackson 24th, and others, to be titled an act to amend Title 49 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to social service.
On the motion of the gentleman that Senate Bill 138 be withdrawn from the Health and Human Services Committee and Governmental Affairs, got it wrong on the board, be withdrawn from the Governmental Affairs Committee and committed to the Judiciary Committee. Is there objection? Chair hears none, and it is so ordered. What purpose does Representative Epps rise?
Make a motion, Mr. Speaker.
State your motion.
I move that the rules of the House be temporarily suspended so that the bill may be read for the first time and assigned to rules of committee.
Clerk will read the caption.
Unnumbered House Bill LC 213694, by Representative Epps of the 144th, be titled an act to amend Chapter 11 of Title 47 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to the judges of the Probate Courts Retirement Fund.
On the motion of the gentleman that the rules of this House be temporarily suspended to allow a bill to be read for the first time and assigned to committee, is there objection? The chair hears none, and it is so ordered. Retirement. If you have an announcement and have not signed up, make your way to the front, be prepared to be recognized, and be sure you're signed up with the messenger. We will be doing page photographs at the rostrum immediately upon adjournment. Immediately upon adjournment.
Chair recognizes Chairman Roberts for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The full House Transportation Committee will meet today at 2 o'clock in room 506 of the CLOB. We've got 4 measures we'll be taking up. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Pack for an announcement. Chair recognizes Representative Efstration for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Gwinnett Legislative Delegation will meet upon adjournment in Capitol Room 403 for lunch and a meeting. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Hamilton for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Industry and Labor Committee, full committee, has a hearing today at 1 p.m. in 506, and we will be taking up a Senate measure. Industry and Labor 506 CLOB. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Sims for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The State Properties Committee will meet today at 3 o'clock in room 401. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Shaw for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Admin Subcommittee of Insurance will meet today in room 515 in LOB at 3 o'clock.
Chair recognizes Representative Sharper for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. If you'd like to take a photo with the doorkeepers tomorrow, the color is pink. Once again, the color is pink if you'd like to take a picture with us tomorrow. Thank you so much. You can wear that again tomorrow.
Chair recognizes Chairman Jacobs for an announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Jacobs Subcommittee of the House Judiciary Committee will meet today at 4 p.m. down in the Judiciary Committee room today at 4 p.m.
Chair recognizes the Majority Leader for a motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Several members have come to me and said that we have a substantial amount of committee work planned for this afternoon. So my motion is to stand in recess today until 4 p.m., at which time we shall then adjourn until 10 a.m. Friday morning, March 20th, 2015.
On the Majority Leader's motion that this House stand in recess until 4 p.m., at which time we will adjourn until Friday, March 20th at 10 a.m. All those in favor will say aye. All those opposed will say no. No. The ayes clearly have it. We stand adjourned. We'll have page photographs at the rostrum. Page photographs. Please make your way up.